Have a chance to have some of those pictures.
Now that's, and I got, your conversation is going to be recorded.
And so the pictures, are gone.
Someday I should borrow them from you. And then I wouldn't have to take it through all this typing.
You shouldn't talk loud enough so the...
I don't feel like it right now though. I'm not in tune.
But anyhow, I had many, many pictures. You talk about the hills behind Chalman's service station. I had pictures of all that in through there with the ropes hanging from the trees and, you know, how we kids used to swing out and attempt to fall and break our necks.
Yeah, and then you used to use it for a slave going down the hill.
Yeah, right. That's where John broke his arm in
yeah.
That was about a slave, right? You and John,
right?
Doing something dippy again.
That would have been about.
But there was a regular hill, you know. The kids used to go sleigh riding, and there wasn't much traffic.
Well, it was a train. All the sleds, they all took hold, but somebody let go. And John and Pat.
Well, what's there now?
It's all down flush.
Well, that's the gas company has a pumping station.
Oh yeah.
And on the other side, they built a duplex.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, come in
just
and
cut
join
those
us. We're talking old times.
Hills are all just cut down.
Talking old times.
And smooth.
Who's talking old times?
We
Pat.
are.
Pat's going way back.
He's going way back.
Well, but that
I
was
went back
really,
to my youth. That must be 40 years ago.
but that was really something, wasn't it?
Well, you keep changing your age.
Well, as a child, Wisconsin
Do I get
Avenue
older or younger?
only went to Hollywood.
You go back to old times.
And then it was nothing else, but maybe once in a while a car
That's
would go
natural,
through, a
isn't
horse
it?
and a buggy would go through, and that was about it.
Beyond Hollywood?
Beyond Hollywood, yeah. And at Cassell's, where Cassell's driveway is out, that was the sand pile.
Oh,
And our kids used to go down there and play sand pile. I have run onto some pictures. The Wellars had a pony, and they used to come down from time to time, and the kids would get a ride on the pony. But I have some pictures of those, and that's what I've been collecting, is all that kind of stuff. And I want to take it a symbol and then write a little bit about what the meaning of it, you know, because it means nothing to people that don't know all the
But
stories.
don't-
Yeah,
That's
but you know
true.
what's really interesting, so what I'm going to do, barring any reason for not being out at John and Eleanor's on Marcella's 85th
Yes.
birthday, is to bring a tape recorder out,
That's a good
Oh,
idea.
yes.
you know?
That would be
That's a
wonderful.
good
That
idea.
tape there is, that's an hour and a half tape.
Oh, for goodness, that's
So
I believe I have the same thing. Haven't I got the same model?
now
No.
sometimes.
Oh no, I don't have a Sony.
Sometimes what a person could do
I
is
don't
that
have a
when
Sony.
that's
Man, you
through,
see the radio
could you
with
put
the,
that on your ears and have that
transmit over
play?
the telephones and everything else, and Sony's the only one who can do that. But there are those hookups on there. The fellow was, WTMJ was showing me how they operate. They take the receiver off the phone, and then somehow the cables that they have, they hook up to the phone, call in, tell them they got a story, and then they let this thing play. Plays the story over.
Don't you have a tape at your office?
Tape recorder?
On your phone?
No.
No, you don't. Oh, my boss does.
Isn't that against the law?
What do you
You like
you
Watergate?
have to expand on your question.
Well, I was just gonna say, I can see where it'd be an advantage, even in any business office, I said, to have a recorder like that, because, you know, what you
Yes.
said, and what they said, and what have you.
Well-
Even if it's in your home.
There are many times that I wish that I had the tape
You're not allowed to
recorder
record
with me,
any conversation
just so that I could have heard my
without the
conversation
knowledge
played
of
back.
the-
What I said,
Without
Yes,
telling
that's what
you
I
know?
mean, that's what I said.
What if they refuse?
I remember.
Well, now with this thing,
When
with
you
this
lived
now,
in the
could you have
townhouse?
something in the
Well,
ears that
there's
you could?
probably a way that
that
he
you-
could
you
get
could
by
just
with
have
it
it next to you,
because
you
of
could,
the nature of
well,
his
what we
job.
usually do with this, you can dictate
That
this
People call in to threaten,
on this machine, and there's
He wants
no
to have this on
headset
tape.
to fit on this, except there is a
and he's got those
hearing
kinds of
device,
Oh,
and
uh-huh.
you can listen to it.
Oh, that.
But
So
you
whenever
can
he
transmit
feels the
this
need,
onto a
when he's
spinneret piece
all
of
he has to
equipment,
do is push one button.
and then that's controlled by your
everything's-
the secretary can control that by her foot. She can type so much and then stop it, and then she can just
Oh, I see.
keep feeding with her foot at the speed that she wants
Oh, I
to get
see.
the message.
Yeah.
See, as fast as she can type it.
Yeah. Well, this is the way I feel with things that we have. For anybody that's interested in history, it would mean a lot. But if you aren't in history, you couldn't care less.
Bessie, I have a question.
Yes.
The picture that used to be on your hall wall was a picture, you said, of Patrick Lynch. He was born in 1777 with the baby.
Yes.
Was he the first one that came over to America?
No, his picture was never up on the wall.
Well, whose picture is that?
That was my father's father. His father came over in 1777.
And what was his name?
Patrick.
Patrick.
But that Patrick Lynch isn't the same Patrick Lynch, the
No.
one that was born in 1777.
It was his son Patrick. His son
Oh,
Patrick
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
My great-grandfather was born here.
was born here, yeah.
Where? Where was he born?
No, was born in Ireland, 1777.
Your
Born in Ireland.
great-grandfather, but not
But
your
my grandfather was born in Ireland too.
Your
He
grandfather.
came over about the age of 9. Between the age
Your
of 7.
grandfather was born in Ireland.
Yes,
So
Patrick.
yes. And his great-grandfather, his father was.
His father was,
Yeah.
of
was
course,
also Patrick.
was Patrick, and
Yeah.
also was born in Ireland.
That's right. That's right.
So the Patrick
And where
born
was-
in 1777 had a son named Patrick,
No,
and his son was John.
no,
And-
no,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, 1777 there was the one, and the other, I must get that, I've got it written at home.
You don't mean 1770.
1777.
17?
Yeah,
But he was born in Ireland.
Yes, and
Yeah.
his son was Patrick.
Born
And
in
his
Ireland
son
also.
was
Yeah.
John.
Born in Ireland
yeah.
also.
And see,
Yes,
Patrick was the youngest of the next.
But I thought the
see.
picture on the wall was Patrick of 1777.
And see, my grandfather,
No, I thought that was
was
Patrick.
born about 1826. So you see, that's
Yeah, I
that's
always
not
said
too many
Yeah,
years difference in a
Patrick
sense.
Yoakum.
You see, and he was the youngest of the crowd.
Well, which is the Patrick that is the picture that Joan is referring to?
My grandfather.
That's Patrick.
Patrick.
That's
Bessie, were any of the wives, the grandmas, born in Ireland?
Yes,
He looked like a Mennonite.
my great grandfather was born in Ireland.
Your
Grandmother
great-grandmother,
was born in Ireland.
but Rose Carroll
Rose
was
Carroll
not
was
born.
not. And Eileen Lynch said the last time that she was here that it is authentic that John Carroll of Carrollton was my grandmother's uncle. He said it is authentic, but I would like to see
well,
the
you better
traces.
get all this done up here.
Well, I mean, that's what I want to do, is to write all that stuff down, that she has told me.
Yeah. Because all these stories are going to disappear.
And that's why I said at that time when she
Abby.
was here, if only I had a tape recorder and just
Yeah.
let her talk, you see. which-
Bessie, Rose Carroll was not born in Ireland,
No,
and she is married to Patrick Lynch.
Patrick
But
Lynch.
Patrick Lynch was born in Ireland?
Yeah,
Your grandfather?
my grandfather was born in
Your
Ireland.
grandfather. That's your father's father?
Yes.
Your father's father was born in Ireland.
And Eileen said that she used to correspond with one of the relatives. Well, I never got to meet her. She never gave the address either, you know, I mean, that I could write.
How you doing?
But it just seemed, like I said,
Want another wine?
but that is what I have written down, all that I have been told about, you see. And what my father, the night before my father was killed, he was killed in a car accident, you know. I was wiping all around the woodwork. And my father was walking right with me, telling me all of this stuff. And then I would sit back a little bit, you know, and listen. When I think of it now, why in God's name did I just take and write down some of this stuff? Although I remember a great
It wasn't
deal of
important
it.
at the time.
Well, you know what I mean. I wanted to get this
The dusting
clean.
was more
I
important.
wanted to get the cleaning done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many generations have the Patricks and the Johns been in the family? You know that old saying about Patty's, Johnny's, Johnny's.
Well, there's Patty's, Johnny's, Pat.
That's me.
I know this is yes, you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patty's
I thought it
Pat.
went through John.
That's 6 generations.
I thought it was Johnny's Pat, went down to
No,
Patrick.
no, Patty's, Pat was the first. Patty's, Johnny's, Patty's,
Pat.
Pat.
That's me.
Patty's, and the other one would be Johnny's Pat. That would be 6 generations
Yeah.
What
there.
about your father?
You see?
Patty's, Johnny's, Patty's is Papa.
Yeah, Pat.
And Patty's,
That's
Johnny's,
5
Pat is
generations,
me.
see? And then John's is one more, John. Pat.
So it'd be Patty's, Johnny's, Pat.
Yeah, and that, I was thinking that just the other, right now. In fact, I'm going to
Damn.
jot
But
that out.
what was the great-great-grandfather's name?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
that we don't know.
No.
We don't know Patrick's father's name.
Not your great-grandfather. But my great-grandfather was Patrick. But the great-great I don't know.
Well, couldn't you write and get the information?
You know what I
from
want
Ireland?
to do, honey? I was talking just like we're talking here now in the bus one day. And someone was there and asking about, I don't know how, it was somebody, I don't even recall whether it was somebody I knew or what, but, you know, short memory. And that's why I want to write all this stuff on my memory sticker. But she said, there was a woman sitting along the long seat like that, you see, and I was sitting here. And when she got up, she said, she turned to me, she said, the Historical Society would like to hear your story. And what I thought was that I'd become interested to go down to there, that I might even get some information from them. So I really, when I get my breath now, that's what I want to do, is to go down someday, just down there. And because I have written up, you've got a copy, didn't you? Or did I? I gave some of them out and some I didn't because I wanted to add two of them.
Yes, I have a copy.
I've got the names on.
Give me one.
You know, I never got a copy of Joel's. Didn't he write something?
Well, they didn't make copies of that.
I have it.
They didn't make copies
Well,
of
you
that.
got Joel's?
Yeah. You mean about Holy Cross?
Oh, that was Holy Cross. That was another thing.
No. Joel just
Yeah,
before,
he wrote, yeah.
a few years before he died.
Yeah, but he wrote a second part about that. And that was some of the stories that he wrote. One of the story was, we had a telephone, and it was at Marge's house as, well, if you would go into Marge's bedroom, well, I can't tell you. I mean, if you would go into her bedroom, where her clothes closet is, if you go back in there, that was what we called, that's where the boogeyman lived.
Oh.
And it was this side of this here that we had a stairway going upstairs. And my mother would take the lamp at night and walk up the stairs, you know. And at the top we had one of these things that you put the lamp in. That was it. But she always took us upstairs to bed.
And Pat always had Indians chasing him up the stairs.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to be the last one because that's where the boogeyman lived back in there.
Oh.
Wasn't that awful?
Awful.
And nobody told us that. That was just our imagination. I mean, that I want to write some of that stuff down because I think it's.
Huh?
Patrick.
That's part of the Judo-Christian philosophy.
Well, that's what I mean. It's really.
The existence of boogeymen.
You have Joe's story?
No, Mother has.
She has one from Holy Cross.
Oh no. Who's got the one?
They have it.
Who's they?
Mary gave me the last part of it now to read.
Did
I
you ever
have it.
read the first part?
I read the first part.
Didn't you make a copy when you got the first part?
I didn't let it down,
Well, haul it back and make copies.
but I'll get it back.
Oh, I gave you more credit than that.
Bessie, who has it?
Helen Clare. I'll get it though.
Will she give it up to have a
Sure
copy
she will.
made?
Sure she will.
Yeah, you think she'd give it up?
Sure she will.
We'll just have a copy made, that's all. Not.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it'd, sure.
Gosh, I've got a copy machine in my office. I can have copies made.
So can I have one?
Well, good. I'm glad I know somebody's got some because I got.
That would be nice.
10 cents a copy.
Well, it'd be interesting. I never read Joe's.
Well, it really isn't. Now, Joe tells about. Our house, when you went into our house the back way, the kitchen way, I mean, the entrance would be maybe about here, and this was kitchen, not quite as big as this, but it was kitchen. Then we had the pantry, and the pantry was kind of small, and I don't know why they had such a small pantry, but they did. Then if you would go there to the end of the thing there, that was the back hall. You could go down the stairs there, and there was stairs that went all the way down. Then in later years they built a little lean-to or something in the back of the thing because there was no room, and they got a sink out there that you could wash instead of coming to the kitchen sink, because we just had the pump and all. And when you went down the stairs, there were shelves. On the top shelf there was a big shelf like this, and there the dish pan always went, Then they had, as you'd go down, so you wouldn't bump your noodle, see, they didn't have much. Then you went down further, they had a shelf, and then underneath they had a real sneaky shelf, that you had to crawl under like this to get the stuff. And if they wanted to keep something really from anybody, they'd do it. And on this side here, there were shelves along here too, but then you went down to the basement. There was a wood floor in the basement, and that's where we had the old-fashioned wash machine. You turn the thing, to turn this way. It reminds you of the udders of a cow. That's the way it was. That's the way the thing would be. You would turn this way, and plunge down, and that's the wash machine of long ago. And then you turn it this way, and that was all wood floor though. Then there was a door. This partition was partitioned off. There was a door that you'd go through, and you'd go where the furnace was. There's one thing that we had from the very beginning was a furnace. We always had a furnace, even in those days when people didn't have it. And then they had a vegetable cellar, and that was maybe along there. It wasn't as long as that, but it was like that. My mother and Marcella had canned, this is back later years, had canned vegetables and things. And they made cha-cha, and they had tomatoes, and they had, I don't know what.
What's cha-cha?
Cha-cha is
Corn
cabbage,
and,
corn and cabbage and all being chopped up, you know. Sweet sour was really delicious. And that night, the shelf gave way. And you know, at the time, it didn't register, but when I think of it now, I think I'd have a stroke.
Yes.
All those hours of labor. It
Yes.
didn't wreck everything, but I think there was one whole shelf that was just wrecked. But those are all memories, you know. But anyway,
Bessie, how old would you have been
but,
when this shelf gave way, for instance? How old would you
oh, I
have?
might have been maybe 10,
But you remember that.
but I remember that. Oh, I remember that so well. There's so many things that I remember. And the only thing, I think sometimes I hesitate doing that. Now, you talk to me, Monty, and she couldn't care less.
Oh,
She couldn't care less. And Marcella, well, it wouldn't mean anything to her either, you know. But now I think that it is interesting, because I think we had about as nice a house as anybody had in those days, you know. But we didn't have the conveniences.
Didn't Joe read a story about he pulled a practical stunt on your father? And your father got very upset with him and he started chasing him around the yard?
oh, that was a blacksmith,
Yeah,
Bessie,
yeah,
when he,
yeah.
wasn't he sent for
Oh, yeah, yeah,
something?
he
Joe
was sent,
sent.
he sent him, he had to have sand. He had to have some sand. When they did some certain work, you had to have sand with the hot stuff, you know what I mean? And he sent him to get the thing, and there was a fire or something, and Joe forgot. When he
And
came
how
back,
old would Joe have been?
oh, maybe about 12.
He forgot.
He was a dreamer more. Joe was always more of a dreamer. And I said, he went home, my father asked what the same was. He said he forgot. My father took over after him.
Oh, he jumped
And
over?
he was young enough that he crawled underneath, you see, and got away. And my
Is that
father,
when your father spilled somebody's
there,
beer?
somebody, they were working on a wagon and this had this thing out here, and the fellow had a can of beer. And my father ran that and spilled the beer.
Yeah, Pat told me about that, and he said, when your father got home, and Joe
Yeah.
got home,
My father said nothing.
Pat said, father said nothing.
My father had a very good temper.
Yeah,
And if he got the kid, I bet it never would have done.
yeah. He said, when Joe got home, he said, my father never said a word.
No.
My father never said a word. And how he ran after Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
never,
s-
I
and
got this.
spilled the man's
I-
beer.
The truth of the matter is, I was, Mary said she had, that what Joe wrote, and I said to Mary, I'd like to have that, so she gave it, I still have it,
Oh,
but that isn't in there. So I think Helen must have the other part, so I want to see if I can get the other part, because the other part was the part that I was interested in. Another thing that they wrote about was, when we got a telephone, and I don't know just what year that would be at first, I don't even remember, but it was, I was maybe about 11 perhaps.
Yeah.
And so Rose, from the time the telephone came, always loved the telephone. Anytime the telephone rings, she'd break her leg to get the answer. So what? As I said, it was up 3 steps from the landing. That's where the telephone was, on the wall. It was one of these.
oh yes, yeah, on the wall,
Yeah.
yeah, a wooden.
So-
Wasn't it wood?
Yeah, wood.
Wood.
So the Joe and Ray would go to the opera, and they'd say, "Operator,
The phone doesn't work.
we don't seem to be getting our calls. Would you mind ringing?" And they'd sneak down and go in this clothes closet. And the phone would ring, and Rose would go, "Hello, hello, hello." Well, operator, the telephone rang. There was nobody on the line.
Yeah.
So she trips downstairs again to wherever she was doing. The kids would get out a few minutes to go back again.
And Pat used to tell that, and he'd laugh, and I said to Pat, well, I don't think that was funny. And Pat said, oh.
Well,
he
it
said,
was
well,
funny if you knew Rose. If you
knew Rose on the telephone,
And to the day Rose died, I said, Rose, like the telephone, I always had an unlimited I mean, I had non-limited, no, I had a, what was that I had? But anyway, it was, she could call all she wanted. Well, anyway, she used to do all her calling when she came home from work. And at night, of course, she'd be through with that. But boy, she used to tell, she loved the telephone from the very first.
It was like a visit.
It was like a visit. It was like a visit.
Oh, I'm going to get my chair, honey.
But I do want to write up
Bessie,
things that I
Bessie,
remember.
No, I'm going to
did Rose have a stroke?
Yeah, that's.
Yes, Rose had a stroke.
Yes.
So I've been thinking about that since I've had my little trouble myself. And that she
But
went
I've
to.
often wondered, did Rose have a stroke?
Yeah, the thing is this, Doris.
In the nest.
She after Irene died, you know, I remember that day so well. We had that party on her. It was
Yes.
party, and she just loved it. She couldn't wait to get over to tell Irene about the party.
Oh,
And so she went over to the party and went over to Irene's.
Hey.
And she got to Irene.
all right.
What?
She said to come. Well, that was very sad for Rose, Bessie.
Well, she went over anyway to see Irene. And when Irene got there, Irene was laughing because Paul Fay had come out purposely to get Rose on Saturday, when Rose was there. And Irene knew all about the party. So there was nothing new to her. So Irene was anxious to hear all about the party. And so they were she was telling all about the party. But Irene's
Real dry wine, but I think.
and Irene, there was a pill that they had to put under her tongue what they saved. And she wouldn't let go of it. That's what makes the growth look so bad. Oh, I think that
All
is
right.
the greenest thing that I...
Sit next to you.
Bass, if you sit
All
there,
right, then I will.
and then I'll use
Leave
this.
me on the end. Yeah, right here. Okay, Bessie, right here, dear. I'm right there, yeah. I'm gonna sit here so I can get up and walk. No, you sit here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because so I can get up and, do my thing.
Fine. Oh, is this nice?
That's your potato.
And the sun had to
This is
come out
my
just-
potato.
Oh, thank God for the sun, huh?
Okay. Say grace.
Holy Spirit, bless the Lord, these thy gifts which we're about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Holy Spirit.
And Dana Riley always said, God help the heathens that don't say that prayer.
God help the heathens that
Yeah,
don't say the
yeah,
prayers.
he- just like the real song, and God help the heathens that don't say that prayer. Didn't you know that?
No,
Dana Riley, oh, he was a great, he was.
I don't know where you got all these sayings from.
Yeah.
Dan
that
O'Reilly
Irish
was
witch.
highly regarded. You know what's
Oh,
interesting is
let's say what you want
that
about
by
it.
and large, brothers-in-law are very rarely well thought of.
Yeah, but he was.
But it's interesting that Dan O'Reilly was so highly thought of that
How do you hear?
that the
I'm
family
just gonna serve
regarded
this, but I
him
didn't
as
quite get it
more,
all the way through.
as more of a personage
Here,
than
hon, use
That's all right.
themselves.
Want me to pass?
A little one you never knew.
A thin
All you
piece for
heard was
me,
your
Bessie.
house.
Dear.
Real thin.
He used to like to have a nip or two, though.
Yes, he did.
In fact,
But
he liked a
was-
nipper 4 instead of a nipper 2.
He was a good one.
Well, yeah. He was, I don't know though, was he good because he was
Pat, you wanna?
3 sheets to the wind?
You
Or
wanna?
was he good because he was good?
He was good.
I could never quite figure that out.
Let's go with Dan.
No, I think that he really,
Remember the
I
night-
don't know, I tell you what I
Do
think.
you remember the night that Tom and Marion invited us all out to stay at Lake Beulah?
Oh, yes.
And Dan decided that was the night to have some fun.
Oh,
And I can remember the next day how embarrassed everybody pretended to be. And I don't know if they were really so embarrassed, but all the adults pretended like they were dreadfully embarrassed because the cottage was on the slope of a hill. and it may have been like 20 feet below the road, that it sloped down
This is
from the road to the
cauliflower,
cottage
not
and
that
into the
gold
lake.
is very hot.
And Dan managed to tumble from the road.
That's a cheese
Oh,
sauce,
my
Bessie, so
God.
if you can't
Don't
eat
you remember?
it, you know.
And he was all cut up when he went through the window. Don't you remember? And Daddy took him.
Yeah, now it comes back to me.
And Daddy took him into the hospital the next day to get
It comes
stitches.
back to me.
Holy Moses.
It comes back to me.
Well, I remember I was invited to go along
I
to the
got it,
hospital
Bessie.
into town.
Yes, I remember.
And that was Lake Beulah. What
but
town would we
I-
have gone into? That must have been
I don't remember what happened. but,
Mukwanago, I suppose, or
I think it was Moquantico.
That's here's some butter.
I remember being there and something happened
That's
to
a
Dan.
dress,
But
cheese,
I don't know what happened. I
sour
don't
cream
remember,
for the
because I had 5
potatoes.
children and I was more
potatoes.
concerned about children. This is yours? Yours. Mine.
has the cauliflower made its tour? Yeah, and it's hot on the bottom, Bess.
How Joan? Cauliflower?
She's got some.
Cauliflower tree?
I have some.
I remember something happened to Joe, but if it was hushed up,
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
yeah.
Dan's drinking was always hushed up.
Well, I know we were all there and there were a lot of children. And you know who else was there? Was Clarence Schrader, who had the Topper Tap, and his wife.
Oh, see, we would have gone to bed by then. I remember there were going to be big doings that night.
So you didn't go to bed?
Oh, no, we were ushered to bed.
Oh.
There was going to be big doings the night before.
Oh,
The night before Dan rolled down the hill, but
well, I didn't know what happened to him.
yeah, he rolled down the hill. And he came right through the point glass at the bottom of the
Here's
hill.
gravy.
Oh, that could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Here's your gravy for your potato, my dear. Regular gravy, if you want. Now, how about wine or what?
I don't have a glass, but there's wine.
Okay, I'm gonna fix it, dear.
This is very, very nice.
I need butter, I guess.
Butter?
Butter.
Oh, you did make gravy.
Yes, I
Oh, I can
did.
have gravy.
Right here.
A little salty, I think.
Let's see the gravy. Gravy's a little salty?
Yeah, I think so.
You shouldn't say that, Ann. Always wait until they try it.
Always wait until they say, oh my God. this is salty."
Oh, people, yeah, but they're polite, they won't say anything. They'll just go away and say, oh my God, wasn't that horrible?
Oh, that smells so-
And everything is just
Okay,
like,
yes.
you've been working like a little beaver. Because I know.
I just
It
love
looks
doing it.
overpowering, I don't want to.
It's no effort, I just love doing it, I got lots of time, lots of room to move around.
That child doesn't know what salt is. There's something sweet and salty.
Come on, Ann, why don't you sit down?
I am
There's
here,
nothing
I
there
am.
that you have to do.
Bob, you want to try cauliflower?
I have some. Right. A little bit of all.
Well, it's nice that you're in Milwaukee, by the way, isn't it? Boy,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how nice a town is.
Yeah, you want some of that sour cream on your potato? Sure you can. How much you want?
Oh, I like a lot of that stuff, I like.
Good.
Joan, how you doing?
Fine.
How's the wine? You got everything packed?
I need the butter.
You need butter here?
Oh, here it is.
Oh, that's, no.
Let me just do my phone.
I'll have some more of that wine, please.
How is that wine, Pat? Pretty good?
Who knows?
Excuse me.
Just fill the glass.
Just keep it coming.
Just put the whistle at it.
Take after my Uncle Dan.
Excuse me, I'm gonna do this, man.
Did you get it, Bessie?
Damn, you have to have it right.
That's all right,
I
dear.
do.
Don't worry about it.
I prove time.
Don't worry.
We thought we
Not,
had,
just so long as you take the blame and I don't take
Listen,
the
dear, there's nothing that can't be washed, you know.
How about
Here,
this?
give
So
me
if
that.
it can't be, you just throw it out.
Hey, look. Irish living.
Why, we sopped this up and No, you know.
Would you like some, Bob?
Pretty fancy.
After I
All good
fill it?
stuff.
You mustn't call your godson Bob, though.
And
Yes, honey.
Zach.
Don't you want some, Joan?
I got it.
Joan. Bob, don't you want some?
Sure.
Here.
Well, we don't have to worry about any ice or water dripping off us, because you got it out already.
I got it.
That's why I don't like putting the ice cubes. Does anybody want rolls? I have
Yes.
those potato rolls.
Yes, please.
Joan, you gonna have an onion? Yeah, why don't you put that up?
You know what, actually, what you need a table that's about 12
Yes.
feet long. To put, you know, because I like to really set the table, but you only have so much room, you
Anybody
know.
want bread? Rolls? Rolls, Bob?
I'm
Right.
gonna get a piece of meat.
Okay.
All right. I want to.
Put that by the hand.
Oh, maybe she likes to do it. She
No,
wants
that's,
Yeah, I'll just
we
grab.
got plenty of that.
Oh, I know it's missing music. I knew there was something.
No, there's something.
it.
Oh, did you want me to sing?
Oh,
Not unless you got your guitar with you.
In your back pocket.
where was
Put
Penny?
him down in her nest.
He sang a verse this morning.
He sure did. I kicked him twice, but that didn't shut him up.
I didn't mind him.
Ken is going
to
over
shut
to his mother's. He'll be here a little later.
He's got a beautiful voice, man.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he sure does. Our little boy.
You have to throw to
I
him.
told Patty should have taken music lessons.
Huh?
Sing your
Afternoon sun shining in your eyes.
It's in your eyes.
Yeah, well, when we're sitting having dinner in the evening, I got shades. I'm ordering shades. I'm
Oh,
working
you
on it.
haven't got shades now.
I've looked at some gorgeous shades.
I'm turning it to that.
Roman shades is what they're called. I want to paper these walls and that. That all takes time. I want to do it as I go along. You know, room by
I
room.
think that's nice.
You know, it's so much fun. It's so, you know, you can bring an
Sweetheart,
interior decorator in, he will do your decorating.
If you
But
just
that's not his taste.
the mouth.
I mean, it's not your taste, that's his.
The mouth
He
is
does
for
it the way
eating
he
with-
wants to
eating-
do it.
Eating with the mouth.
I'm gonna bring an interior
You're not gonna-
decorator in to do ours.
Are you?
I've had my fill of living with early Halloween.
Well, I think it's a good idea. That's the reason they're working.
Sure, because my taste is rotten.
But the thing is this, and you get an interior
I can't
decorator,
even
unless
dress
he knows
myself
you and works
unless
with
somebody
you,
tells me what
he's
color
got
to
to know
put
you
on.
to know what you like. Because then it's not your personality that's reflecting in the home, it's his. He is putting in what he wants to put
Hey
in.
Pat, try that,
Whereas I fix these rooms, it's the way I want them.
try that
It's my
sour cream on your
personality.
potato. Man, is that excellent. It's got horseradish in it.
Is that yours or
I think all three of them are.
The sour cream dressing, that's,
Is it good?
that's the main thing.
Well, Dan, how was it?
Hey, this meat is great.
Is it tender?
Everything
I
is
must
great.
taste it.
It's so good.
No, it's a little tough, but it's very flavorful.
No, it's not tough. My piece isn't.
It's as tender as a mother's heart.
Did you hear that, Mother?
Right, it is very good.
Where do you think I learned that expression?
Off of a Bazooka comic book?
Very good, sweetheart.
There was a TV show on today about couples marrying, and I was going to say vowing, but it's not really vowing, but marrying and deciding that they would never have any children, ever. And at the end of the show, the announcer said, "Will all of you listening audience please excuse us for this perversion on Mother's Day?"
What channel was that on?
I don't recall.
of college.
But it was interesting, the remarks that they made about the people that said that they weren't going to have any children. And it's interesting how the reporter continued to probe their reasoning.
What was
And
the reason?
it started out with, well, ecology and
There was no land left in Arizona.
Oh, isn't that
too many
awful?
children being born and overpopulation. When it came right down to it, the final answer was selfishness. That they just wanted to love each other and they wanted to do what they wanted to do with their
And
lives.
they didn't have any time for kids,
And they
right?
had, right, didn't have any time for kids.
If they're really truthful, that was it.
And they were, by and large, they were because the reporter forced them to be.
Yeah.
He just probed and probed and probed until he got
Who was
straight
the,
answer.
who was the reporter? Howard Cosell? Oh, this is, did you try this, Joan?
There was a girl on the other day, do you know, a girl that wrote a book by the
Okay,
name of
or-
Stein or Steinberg,
Gertrude Stein,
that wrote a book, she's
the
married,
liberated woman.
That girl,
the what dear?
that,
No, that's Mama Cass.
Gertrude Stein,
Stein
the
and-
liberated woman.
Married and they don't want kids, her and her husband, and she wrote a book about it.
Oh, I don't think
Is that
it's
the-
Gertrude Stein.
Gloria
Oh.
Steinem?
That's it.
Sure. Roy Steinem.
But still, when you're,
Did you
when
read
you
about
look,
it?
you look
Yes.
around and you see
Huh?
some of
Yes.
these very smart people, I mean,
She was on Laura Griffin's the other day.
scientists and
I didn't
things,
even know she
you'll
was married.
find out that they were maybe the eighth
Yeah.
child in a family, you know what I mean?
That's the one. Yeah, I knew it was,
Oh.
I was close, it's Stein, I knew it was
Well, one
Steinberg,
said-
Stein.
well, if you believe in not having children, how is it you're here today?
Today.
Isn't that
Well,
true?
what's that got to do with it? That's, you know, that kind of argument means absolutely nothing to me. Then, because if you were to say that, you must then condemn nuns and you must condemn priests, right? The logic follows then. The logic follows step by step that if you say that, then you must condemn, well, all of us that have been never married. If the greatest end of life is to procreate.
Amen and hallelujah, brother.
I may get
I
on.
listen to it.
I still
I listen to
say the greatest
WAWA.
thing I think in life is,
On Sunday
like they
morning.
said, to know God, to love Him, to serve Him. And I said, and most of all, charity among people. Am I right? And as I say, I think that is the one big important thing. To be nice to people, and I mean all people.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That really is. That you know, that sums it all up. But the problem is that so many religions begin to
Joan.
give you rules and regulations by which you can do this. You know,
Well, yeah.
and in giving you these rules and regulations, many people devoid themselves completely of that. Love your neighbor.
Joan.
You know, the gospel today.
Sure, honey. Bessie,
No more, thank you.
mothers.
Excellent.
No.
Was it the gospel or was it one of the readings today
Let me put this
that said
back.
You didn't want any meat?
that Christ said,
The meat failed.
continue to love each other as you will,
Well,
therefore
maybe she had one of these, Bob.
all other people will know you and recognize you by your love for each other. And there's a song that we sing today, they'll know we are Christians by our love.
Wait, yeah. That's
They
right.
will know we're.
But you know, that is not very well followed. That's not very well followed.
No, you're right.
But it's not even followed among the great hierarchy of the church.
That's what they say, the error is human, and they err.
Well, you know what bothers me and what I was thinking of,
See what I mean? And they
Pat,
have to
pass the
realize,
butter.
I said to me, Pat, there's so much that,
There are millions of people dying in Ethiopia and in Africa, starving to death. And
While
I
we
look
sit
at
in
our,
peace.
I look at our churches that cost fortunes. In fact,
Yeah.
the St. Mary's Church in San Francisco, they have an old St. Mary's Church which
Is that, that's got a little horseradish in it.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what I said you should.
that was
Yes.
kind of
Oh,
around the
that's
corner.
what your mother
Pardon?
Kind of around the
Really likes
corner,
it.
wasn't it?
Mm.
The old St. Mary's,
Yeah.
or they kind of a little new
That's
flag.
why I made,
Right
I
on
made
that part,
that,
the
yeah, I
Bible
made
church.
that for her, she said,
Whew.
that's
Then
what
they
she
built a
wanted.
new St. Mary's that became the cathedral.
Delicious.
And it cost millions of dollars to build.
I don't know, did you think there was enough
When I was in the
horseradish
service,
in
we
it,
went to
Mother?
mass in
Perfect.
theaters, in tents, but it was the same mass. Why do you have to put up a $2 million or $5 million edifice? Why don't you put up $100,000 church
I go,
and send the $5 million over there to feed those starving little babies?
I go back to Holy Cross.
Hey, you better be careful, you're gonna turn into a liberal.
I go back to
I don't know
Holy
if you can
Cross,
handle
Bob.
that.
He is very
Bob, this was for
bothered.
you,
I
Pat.
don't know if you can handle that.
Oh, God.
That Father Dennis worked and worked and worked to pay off the debt.
Who?
And
Quick,
Father
get
Dennis
Father
worked to
Casper.
pay off the debt.
Yeah.
And he
It's
paid
just
off,
about the same.
paid off the debt. And then he said, we will work to build the
Lions won,
Cool.
Christmas nothing.
And we did.
Yeah.
When Father Haas became provincial, we sent Father Denner to North Dakota. Got Father Preller here, who built the hall where it should never have been built.
I
According
don't
to
think
the,
Father Preller knew anything at all,
he
Bessie.
didn't, well, that's what I'm.
He was a missionary.
Father Haas was the one that did this. No, he was out in North Dakota, yeah. But anyway, where it was supposed to have been built was, you know, if you go on Roomont Road and you see the renders on the right-hand side of the school and the left, in between there is where the hall was supposed to, according to blueprints. That's the truth. You know what, I'm talking about all this. My father took his 6 boys to a holy name breakfast.
Oh, yes, and they all
And father,
promised.
father,
Good, good.
you know, my
That's
father
the push on
promised
it.
for all of them.
Promise
Well,
what?
but he did.
Father Schrader,
He
and
promised.
my father promised $25 from each one of his sons,
Yeah.
6 sons, and $100 for himself. And came home and gave me the bill.
Well, Father Denner
And I was
used,
quite-
Father Denner used to speed.
This was
In
Father
what period,
Schrader.
in what
To drive
period
a
of time was
36
that supposed to
Oldsmobile
be?
90 miles an hour, with us in it.
Father Schrader.
90 miles an hour.
Did he?
Yeah.
Where was he driving you?
No, he had a
He was
Buick.
parked.
He had a Buick.
Who's that? Who?
Father Denner,
No, couldn't possibly have been.
90 miles an
My
hour.
father dinner.
Yes,
I
sirree.
don't believe that.
Well, he did. We were coming back from a Boy Scout camp.
Mm-mm.
90.
Not
He
Denner.
says, how's that? He was driving a Buick. Shoo. And Mauer probably did the same thing, but
He
Unfortunately, he-
found the tree.
sure did, with a crate of eggs in the back of the car. Yeah.
Scrambled eggs for breakfast, huh?
I was thinking about all of that when I was in Holy Cross today, seeing a lot of those old people that I hadn't seen in many, 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 many years.
Yeah.
What made you go
And
to?
Bob said, where
What,
were
honey?
What made you
Well, we
go
went to
to?
7th,
We went to
I think
7 this morning, St.
Teresa's.
Teresa's.
And they went to.
And then I went, then I left Ann here, and I went down
I got
with
all my things
Pat
together,
to
you
go to
know.
the 10 o'clock mass at Holy Cross, so I went to 2 today.
See, I didn't have any dreams.
Oh, Bessie,
Not an unusual Sunday for Charlie.
I can have something.
you have everything that's on the
He'll
table.
Like-
never become a witch.
We have a hard time
How you doing,
tearing
Mother?
the collar off of him.
Everything is so good.
But it's when he goes to the window and goes like this.
Yes, she does eat.
I don't even have a firelight.
Well, I like,
Yep, ladies, darling.
I like what Father Jerry said though. He says we're having a second collection because we're not getting $3,000 a collection.
I know.
Is that what he said, really?
Yeah, yeah.
They gotta paint the church and
He
whatnot.
said,
Cost money.
Father told me, he said, we've got to have 3,000. We have to. And it's far below. And they want to do some painting and stuff, and they want a second collection. And he
Maybe
said
what they
some-
need is somebody to come in and manage their affairs. An efficiency expert of some sort. You know?
Why doesn't the bishop?
Well, that's why I
help out
said
a
that,
little bit?
Pat, we never would have been at this mess that I was trying to tell you. If Father House didn't think so with the old church. They spent thousands doing it.
That was a
What have we
mistake,
got?
too.
It's a glorified chapel. What they should have done is to turn that
You mean
over.
Holy Cross now?
Yeah, they should have turned
Oh, I
that over
think
to
it's
the
kinda
Palatine.
Oh, but you should have seen it before in the old church.
Oh, that's what I
They should have
love.
turned it
The
over
old
to, they
church.
should have turned that over to the there for a chapel. And we should have built a new church.
What's that church that's in the cemetery? Isn't it a church?
Oh, yeah, you,
Chapel.
you know, if that door was open, they say it'd collapse.
If what?
If that door was open in that chapel, it'd collapse. When I was a little girl, we used to
So you know
have,
when you drive by there, you know, you see
we
that
used to have
hill.
a,
It's
well,
up the
it was
hill.
in the, it was the, I've got it all.
Corpus Christi we
I
used to
saved
go
the
around.
article, I got the article. When
In
I
the
get busy
Packard.
writing all